Awaken. Break the loop.
She's warm, kind, always there for everyone. Everyone knows her, but she doesn't really know herself. Behind every smile, there's an echo of emptiness. She says yes to everyone, except for herself.
Hey guys, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. These are my parents. Aren't they beautiful? They're both athletes, really good at sports, and you name a sport, he's done it all. She's done it all as well. They're like the school jocks, and these are my sisters. Always there for me. They're my best friends. I don't know how I can live this life without them. They're here right now supporting me as always. And yeah, I'm the middle child, so I've never been really like the brightest one. Like I wasn't really the smartest one, in like educational things. But I did excel in sports. I did a lot of sports. I did cheerleading, I did basketball, I did ice skating, I did modern dance. You name it, I've probably done it. I love my life, basically. I've done a lot of side quests. I was a pastry chef. I was in a fashion show, and I did lots of social media things. That was so much fun. I discovered painting, and I show it on my social media because it's my art. That's how I express myself. And then I fell in love with acting. I love acting. Why? Because I feel like I can be someone else for once. I can feel like I am in someone else's shoes. So I did little short movies, like those cringy little YouTube videos when you were younger when you make with your friends. I did those, and it went viral. Crazily. I don't know how, but it did. That's how I started my content creator journey. I actually won a short movie award. I know it's not a big deal, but it's like, whoa, that's something crazy to me. Because I directed, written, and acted in it, and I felt like it was great, It's like a big achievement. And then after that, I got the opportunity to leave and go to Canada, where I took my major, acting media. And this is what Canada looks like. It is a winter wonderland, as you can tell. All the fluffy snow, there is ice that is really, really deadly if you slip on it. It's called black ice, but most of the snow is beautiful. Like this, it's funny, I loved it. And then I met this boy. He's a doctor, by the way. He's a little short, but you can't have it all. I went on a date with him, and you know how those classic dinner dates is like candlelit dinners? Maybe Netflix, or maybe like, I don't know, a movie, and then you walk home and maybe a kiss goodbye if the date went well, but mine wasn't like that. He asked me to bring my ice skates, where he took me frozen lake skating. It was like under a moonlight. It was very romantic, and we didn't even have dinner. We just walked around all night in the city, walked around the town, and then he took me to an underground boxing club. It was illegal. I didn't know it was illegal until he had to say a password, and we had to go through the back. And then everyone was holding their monies up, and I was like, whoa, what is happening? Is this illegal? He's like, yeah, a tad bit. And then, at that time, my knee was, I had a broken knee, and it was still recovering. And then, but I've always wanted to like go down sledding a mountain of snow, because I'm new to snow, right? And he's like, I'll take you sledding. And I'm like, nah, it's dangerous, don't. And he's like, don't worry, I got you. You know what he did? He pulled out an air mattress from his car. He pumped it up, and we went snow sledding. So that it's safe for me. It's comfortable, and it's comfy, it's soft, and it's amazing. And then afterwards, we went on a second date, where we had dinner and karaoke, and then afterwards he said, hey, let me take you somewhere, because he knows I love animals. He showed me this forest, this beautiful forest with like frozen lake skating as well, yeah. But it says beware, caution, because there's other animals there. And then he said, come, trust me, I know a spot. And then I followed him inside the forest. Do not follow a man inside a forest, trust me. But I did it anyways. Why? Because he said there were baby wolves. So I came in there, and it was like a Hallmark movie. It was like we were under the moonlight, and you know those cringy Hallmark films where you kiss under the mistletoe, and then you meet 2 weeks in Paris, and then they get married or something? It was like that. We were under the moonlight, and then we were doing mating calls for wolves, and we were going like, "Ow, ow, ow." It was adorable. It was cringy, but it was adorable. But then afterwards, I got raped. I got raped by this man, and everything started falling apart. Let me tell you the story from the beginning. I was always the odd one out. I'm the middle child, you know, mostly the middle child. We're the black sheep of the family. I got bullied by my English teacher. How do I speak English so well? Mr. Disney Channel, Miss Nickelodeon, thank you. And I dropped out of school 3 times because of this trauma, because of the bad things that I went through. I got cheated on 3 times as well. I got date raped, I got drugged, and everything started falling apart. I started feeling things that I didn't understand, that was there with me, but I didn't understand. I started doing this cycle where I start bed rotting. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what it is, where you just doom scroll, you want to stay in bed, you want to wake up and do something productive, but you don't. You want to stay home, but you're bored. You want to meet your friends, but you don't end up doing it. I've done it a lot. That's a cycle that's been going on. But sometimes I've got this little high where I really want to go out. I really want to seek adventure. I really want to do everything. But then the next day I'm like, nah, I want to die. Which is weird. I was like, what is this feeling? I don't understand. You know? And then my best friend, my number one best friend, who ghosted me for 4 years, who went to the States, and he ghosted me. He called me all of a sudden when I was back in Canada. He called me, we were video calling. He's like, look at you, alive. I said, what? Hi, how are you? You know, and he's like, oh, no. I made a bet with our classmates from high school that you would take away your life before you reach college. No offense, he said. I grew up in a classic Asian family where they told me weakness, vulnerability, hide it all down. All your feelings, everything that's inside your head that's bothering you, that depression, that sadness, hide it. Because that's your weakness. You're gonna lose friends over it, and I believe that. I've done that. I did that every single day. I hid it from everyone. I took the cross myself, basically. And it was heavy. It was really heavy because I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I just knew that I had to hide it because I'm gonna lose more friends, like my best friend. They told me that it was vulnerability that is killing me. They told me that whatever you're feeling is false. I didn't understand anything until I reached the breaking point. Trigger warning for you guys who are sensitive to suicidal issues or any blood or sensitive things, please look away now. So I didn't understand all of these feelings that I was going through, right? And then I reached a breaking point. This is the part where I tried to take away my life. And my sisters, they found me in a room. I overdosed on my drugs. Not drugs, like medication, like legal medication. I overdosed, and they dragged me into the hospital. And at that time, I was like, stop. I want to stay here. I'm done. I want to stay. I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm okay. I want to die. But then they fought for my life. They keep pulling me. And then I was in a resuscitation room. I was on life support. And it was like in a movie where it's like blackout, black, white in, something like that. You know what I mean? It's like I could see some footages, like little clips. I saw some of my friends there. I saw my sisters pleading for my life, and I saw my mom heartbroken, seeing me on that bed, and then at that very moment, I questioned myself. Why? Why do I do that to myself? Why do I do that to myself if my family is fighting that hard for my life? Why can't I do it as well? I didn't notice that people actually cared for me. I didn't notice that people actually want to be there for me. I just didn't reach for help. Statistics says depression, it's the most common mental illness. Is it curable? It's not. It can't be cured. But it can be treated with medication and psychotherapy. Approximately 332 million people in the world have depression, and that is bigger than the population in Indonesia. What I'm trying to say is that you're not alone. Why? I finally got help. I sought out for help, professional help, that is. As I remember, the doctor told me, one more pill could have killed you. And I said, one more? Really? Dang. But yeah, I finally sought help. I looked for a professional doctor. I went to a couple ones just to diagnose what is happening to me. And then apparently, I have bipolar disorder, I have BPD, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, PTSD, depression, and anxiety. I don't know what half of these words are. I was like, what? And what do I have? And then he was explaining it to me in a way that I never understood. He was like, are you feeling like this? Are you feeling like this? And I'm like, yeah. How do you know? And he's like, well, it's real. It's a disease. It's something that you can do. It's something that you can get help for, I finally got my diagnosis. And, it's taboo in Indonesia. And I feel like we should spread more awareness to these, especially adults who doesn't believe in this mental illness. A disease that you can't see is something that people don't believe in, Because humans are made to see to believe it, that's fair. I also see it to believe it, but I felt it, and it's real. So I finally got medication, and this is my to-do list. Action and prevention. Acceptance, awareness, and not to be ignored. It is something you cannot ignore. Healing starts with accepting what you have. Healing starts with what you know you have. It is there in the room with you, but it is something you can push through. It is not to be ignored. It is to be accepted. Basically, you have to reach out. Reach out to friends, family, your school counselor, anyone. Seek professional help and get diagnosis. If you're feeling any of these things, if you're feeling any of these symptoms, get help. Do activities. If you don't want psychologists, then do something like go to that Pilates class you've been wanting to plan, Go to a gaming club, a board game club, do something, Go dancing, do gymnastics. I did all of that, but I still had this thing. After this mania where I wanted to do every single thing, since I have bipolar, I went all the way down that's when I got out of my comfort zone. I said, I gotta get out of here. I gotta do something. I gotta take a vacation. Dark twist, honestly. I was trying to spend all of my money on my vacation and then take away my life right after. But then, I went solo traveling, and I thought I was just gonna go home 2 weeks later, more broke, more depressed, and but I met a family. Like I met these amazing people from around the world who has so much stories to tell me, and it's crazy how people live different lives and how they take on different things, and I think it's really beautiful. You never know what's out there if you haven't done it. They don't know what I was going through, but they saved my life without them knowing what I was going through. They didn't know what my schedule was. They didn't know what I was going to do after the trip. But I wasn't broke. I got rich in relationships. I got rich in friends. I met all these amazing people. And these guys, we traveled around 3 months together in total. I met them out of nowhere, and they saved me without knowing. One of them found out eventually, but then cried with me, and she's like, "You're not alone. Like, I want to be here for you. Talk to me." And I'm like, wow. Everyone, me, we owe it to the good people in the future we haven't met yet to survive, to fight for, to live for. Okay, question is, who has control? You or that something invisible in the back of your head taking your life? Bed rotting, doing this cycle over and over again. There's this debate. You can't help someone who doesn't want to be saved. And I think that's very, very true. Someone's drowning, you throw them a floaty. They're not going to catch it because they don't want to be saved. It all starts with you. And I think that we should do something. If anybody resonates or has any relatable things from my talk today, do something about it. Get out of the comfort zone. Reach out for help. Do baby steps. Do something today. Do something tomorrow. As long as you're doing something towards your life. You leading your life, not whatever that is. Wake up. Break the loop. Thank you. Before my time runs out, I just always wanted to say this. My name is Chia, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk.